So this episode was insane. When I started watching this episode, I was like, okay, another politics episode, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the politics in Attack on Titan are so good. They really added the realism and the world building here. But this was politics, but not in the way I thought it would be. We start with Armin and Hitch, actually. It was nice seeing Hitch again in Annie's room, checking out the crystal and everything, and Hitch thinks that Armin is kind of checking out Annie more so, or at least Armin thinks that Hitch thinks that, and there's this whole thing. I'm really curious if Armin actually does kind of have a crush on Annie because he inherited Bertolt's memories. So it would kind of make sense, maybe. I don't know if it works like that, but I don't know. Anyway, regardless, I want to see what happens with Annie. She's literally been sleeping for 50 episodes at this point, almost 50 episodes. She better be dreaming well, because holy cow. And we see the crowd gathering outside the military headquarters or whatever, the building, right? And they're chanting for Eren, because in the newspapers all over, now it's the people are on Eren's side, right? The people who publish the newspapers, the common people, even a lot of the military is starting to get on Eren's side, and they don't like that the scouts and the military are not sharing all that information. However, obviously they can't. They can't share it, and yet the crowd gets angry. It's crazy, Later on, they start chanting, Sasagayo, Sasag, and it's like, oh my, what have we become, yo? It's crazy, but regardless, fishy things are happening. So then we get a conversation with Pixis and Yelena, and this conversation is interesting, because Yelena admits that she did meet up with Eren a little less than a year ago. Now, she just straight up admits it. Yet she doesn't say that she's the one who told him to do what he did in Marley. She just wanted to meet him, according to her. And there's more that goes on with this conversation, but to be honest, it's kind of confusing. This episode is a little confusing. I've got most of it, I checked out some reviews and stuff, so I think I'm sort of gathering what's going on. But ultimately, Yelena, we don't know if she's telling the entire truth. Now, what's also interesting is Pixis says something like, oh, do you know how to tell a good lie? And I don't know if this means that he wants her to lie, but I don't think so. I think he's basically saying, tell the truth and we'll figure out the lies from the truths, I guess is what he's saying. I'm not sure. He's basically saying, we don't trust you or something like that. I don't know. Then we see Hanji and Onyankopon talking, and they're kind of playing some cards or whatever. But then basically Hanji asks him to talk more about Yelena. And he does. He says that Yelena is kind of cold-blooded. She killed a bunch of people back when they were all together who didn't trust the group, or they weren't all in, right? She doubted their loyalty, which is kind of crazy. And Hanji brings up a good point, because Yelena is so anti-Marley. One of the reasons that she was so thrilled with Eren's plan is because A, she worships Eren and Zeke, apparently, and 2, she wanted retribution against the Marleyans, divine retribution finally, and yet, on the island, she's been making sure that these Marleyan people, like Niccolo, get jobs and are treated well, but at the cost of the island not trusting her, so it's like, what the heck is she thinking? So then, Mikasa Armin, they meet up with Zachary. And he basically is like, okay, so you guys can't meet with Eren, we think that there's stuff going on, we think Eren's being manipulated by Zeke. So they're sad, and then he freaking blows up! He freaking blows up! When this happened, that's when I realized, okay, this wasn't an ordinary episode, this was not just a talking or politics episode, no. Things are happening. What's very tragic about this, and poetic in a way, is that Zachary is killed by his own chair. The one that he used to torture people in season 3. I didn't pick up on this at first. But yeah, he used that thing to torture people. I remember that gruesome scene, and then that's the thing that killed him in the end. Rest in peace, Zachary, you will be missed. And essentially, they think that the scouts did it. Recruits were seen going in, and it looks a little fishy. It definitely seems like some scouts were probably involved. And then that gets further confirmed by the revelation that Eren has escaped from prison. What the frick? So Eren was rescued by this new group that they're calling the Jaegerists. People who are pro-Eren. I can't believe this is happening. Eren has busted out of prison, and he's teaming up with Floch, freaking Luis or whatever and all these other people, and they're like, hey, you're the only one that can save the island. And it seems that the majority of the island are supporting Eren. They think Eren is their only hope. You know, the military's taking too long, they're not being active enough, blah, blah, blah. And they've formed their own resistance. Like, bro, what is going on? And what's crazy is that Mikasa and Armin, they are not on Eren's side. So it's like, what's happening, you know? Jean and Connie, like, what is going on? We don't know. But overall, Pixis is now the commander-in-chief with Zachary dead, at least the acting commander-in-chief. And he seems to be like, hey, let's just admit we lost. Let's let Eren take over. And everybody's like, what the frick, what are you talking about? But it's actually a really smart plan, and I think Pixis is right about this. If you waste your time fighting the Jaegerists, A, you might just lose, because it's freaking Eren Jeager, okay? He's got 3 Titans inside of him. And B, even if you win, you lose Eren, you lose all these soldiers, you know, the island hates you, you're split up, you're going to lose to yourself. So the only option is to admit defeat. However, he also has a plan in that they're going to negotiate with Zeke's location because the Jaegerists want Eren and Zeke to meet up so their plan can continue. Bros, best bros. And it's crazy, you know what I mean? And then eventually Kiyomi Azumabito, totally saying that right, she meets up with Mikasa. Well, she was there to meet up with other people, but she's basically like, hey, don't put yourself in danger. And I love Mikasa's response to this. Mikasa says, I'm gonna put myself in danger because I'm protecting my home. And it's like, thank you, Mikasa, you are our princess, not their princess. It was really well done, you know, and she's like, oh, but we'll protect you. It's like, no, just shut up, just shut up. So they're worried about Zeke and Historia. They think that the Jaegerists are going to go after those 2 locations. So basically they're like, go protect those 2 locations, blah, blah, blah. Dude, the whole Historia thing still hasn't been explained. There's so much, I'm telling you, this show, after they answer one thing, they ask 3 more questions, and I love it. And that's pretty much where the episode ends. You know, things are going down. They're wondering what's going on with Yelena, and with Zeke, and with Eren, and with Historia. It's crazy, but the real cliffhanger is we see Falco and Gabby arrive at Nicolo's restaurant, and, you know, they're gonna do stuff there, which is crazy. They actually went along with them? Like, is someone gonna see what's going on there? You know, they haven't even talked about the fact that they escaped, you know what I mean? It's crazy. But they probably have, but not this episode anyway. And then the cliffhanger is that Peak, the cart titan, is now on the island, hiding out. We're screwed. This is so bad. This is so bad. Because the island is not prepared. They do not think that Marley is going to retaliate for a long time. They're gonna gather the other country's support and rebuild and, you know, and then attack, but no. Marley was like, nah, we're attacking right away. So dude, I have no idea what's gonna happen next. Freaking Zachary died this episode. Is Pixis gonna go, you know, look what's going on? Obviously, no spoilers, please. But I'm super curious. Attack on Titan Season 4 is killing it. And again, we only have a few more episodes before we reach the end of the first part of Season 4, but I don't want it to end, man. It's so good, and it is confusing and complicated, but I honestly think that's a strength of Attack on Titan, because A, you can sort of gather what's going on anyway, but B, like, it's all there. The information is all there, and you can answer these questions, you can dig deeper, you can find out what's happening, you know, even if it's confusing. So I really like that. Overall, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Next week, another Attack on Titan review is coming, so definitely stay tuned for that. And I'll see you guys in my next Attack on Titan review. Take care.